Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Automation Desk YouTube channel. My name is Will with LocodeSystems, where we help businesses like yours save time by removing those annoying bottlenecks through automations, integrations, apps, and IT services. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to use the IMAP migration method to transfer your email from your current email provider over to Microsoft 365. And of course, there's many other ways to migrate your email from your current email provider over to Microsoft 365. And I covered 4 of those methods in my previous video. So if you haven't watched that video yet, make sure you do so. I'll be leaving the link of that video in the description below. So without any further ado, let's get started. Before we get started with the actual migration, there's a few limitations to the IMAP method that I need you to be aware of. Number 1, IMAP only migrates emails, not contacts, calendar events, or tasks. Number 2, you can migrate up to 500,000 messages per mailbox, and each message can be no larger than 35 MB. Number 3, new email syncs about 24 hours until the batch is completed. And number 4, Microsoft throttles performance. By default, this is set to around 20 mailboxes that you can migrate at once. Of course, don't let these IMAP limitations change your mind if you were going to do the IMAP method. These are some workarounds that you can take in case some of these limitations apply to you. Number 1 is cleaning up your mailboxes first. So delete any junk and large attachments that your users are doing. You can send an email out and instructions on how to do that. Number 2, you can migrate only recent mail, so you can filter it to bring maybe the last 1 year or 2 years. Number 3, you can export older mail to a PST if user wants to keep everything, and I went over that option in my previous video. You can also run smaller batches, so around 10 to 15 users each, to avoid the throttling of 20 mailboxes at a time. And if you're dealing with huge mailboxes or need calendars on contacts, you can also use a third-party tool like BitTitan migrations or Code2. So keep all these limitations and workarounds in mind and see what you can do, what you can play with before you start the migration. Now let's get started. Okay, so right now I'm logged into my Microsoft 365 Admin Center console. Make sure that you have access to this portal because this is where we're going to start the migration and where we're going to do all the configuration. There's a few things that you need to make sure that you've done before we start this actual migration, and that is 1, make sure that for every user you're migrating from your current email provider over to Microsoft 365, you have purchased a Microsoft license. So if you're migrating 5 users, make sure you purchase 5 licenses. If you're migrating 50, make sure you have purchased 50 licenses and assign each one to every user profile, and you have also created those accounts within Microsoft. Another thing is make sure that your current provider supports the IMAP protocol, because 1, they might need to enable that on their end, so you have to probably call their help desk, get with them, send them an email, ask them if they support it. If they do, make sure it's turned on, and you're going to need a few things. That's going to be the IMAP settings, so that's going to be the incoming server name, the port, and the required SSL. So you're going to need those 3 components because we're going to be putting that into the console here in a second. Make sure that those things are done before you get started with the actual migration. Another thing, well, there's one more thing actually, and that is for the IMAP migration method, you're going to need your current users' emails and passwords. There's a few ways that you can do this. You can reset their password temporarily while you do the migration, and after you're done with the migration, give them the password so they can reset it. For the purpose of this demo, I went ahead and signed up for a Soho account. I created an email. I linked one of our domains that we have to Soho, and I went in ahead and paid $4 so I can get their IMAP enabled. And that's what I'm talking about, that some providers you need to call them, or you need to go to the higher tier so you can get this enabled. So as you can see, this is my IMAP server configuration that I'm going to be using over when I start the migration in the Exchange in Microsoft. So I also have my Microsoft 365 Admin Center console open here. And the first thing you want to do is go ahead and click Exchange under Admin Centers on your left hand side menu. So go ahead and click exchange. And what we want to do is we want to start the migration. So go ahead and click migration. And I don't have any migration batches because I haven't migrated any email yet. So the first thing we're going to be doing is we're going to adding a migration batch. Depending on how big your business is, you might have different teams such as IT, legal, procurement, logistics, etc. So a migration batch, it's remember back to that limitation that I mentioned from Microsoft where they throttle up to 20 mailboxes that you're transferring at the same time. Well, that you can create different batches. So let's say you have a team in IT and it's less than 20 people, right? You want to create a migration batch for your IT department, one for your legal department, one for your procurement department. It's just easier to track and keep an eye on. So, and it makes your migration so much easier. I recommend that you break it down depending on how big your company is, how many users you're migrating. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to give this migration batch a name. So I'm going to name mine IT department. Let's pretend my IT department it's one person, right? So we're going to be migrating our IT department first. We're going to be selecting the mailbox migration path, and that's going to be migration to Exchange Online. Click next. Now we're going to be selecting the migration type, and that's going to be an IMAP migration. So make sure you select this option. Go ahead and click next. Now there's some prereqs and those are already talked about, but if you want to read them over, I'm going to be linking this link in the description, so make sure you click on it. You can go ahead and read all the limitations here if you want to, but I already explained some of those in the intro. Now go ahead and click next on this. Right now I don't have any endpoint set up, but we're going to be setting up an endpoint. And once you set it up once, so let's say right now I'm transferring from Soho. So once I set this endpoint up, I can save it. And if I have multiple departments to migrate, like I already mentioned, so right now I'm migrating the IT department. If later on I have a legal department, a procurement department that I want to migrate, I can just reuse this endpoint and you don't have to start building the configurations from scratch every time. So let's go ahead and select migration endpoint. I don't have one, but once I create it, it's going to appear in this window. So let's go ahead and create a new migration endpoint. Go ahead and click next. Now let's go ahead and give the migration endpoint a name. So I'm going to name mine LCS for LocodeSystems Soho, right? Because that's our provider that we're going to be migrating from. This is the maximum concurrent migration, so I'm just going to keep it by default to 20. And the maximum concurrent incremental syncs is going to leave that default to 10. Go ahead and click next. Here's where we're going to need the configuration from that server. So you're going to be needing the IMAP server, and that's going to be the one I just showed you. So this is going to be the IMAP. So we're going to be needing the one that's for in. So that's for you receiving emails. Go ahead and copy your IMAP server. And if you have them, you have been provided to you through email or whatever you got it, go ahead and get those configurations, paste them into your IMAP server field. Okay. The authentication is going to be basic authentication, and the encryption is going to be SSL. Now go ahead and leave that accept untrusted certificates unchecked, and the port, it's automatically put in there for you. So it's 993. That's the port for SSL. And we're going to click next. Right now it's making a connection to my SSO. So as you see, it was successful. So the new endpoint LCS Soho was created. So let's go ahead and click next. Now the second part we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding the user's mailboxes. And to do this, we're going to be putting all this information that's going to be your email, your users' emails and passwords in a CSV file. So what you need to do first is you need to download the CSV file. So you can download it with just the headers only, or you can download it with the headers and the simple user information so you can see how to input your information. So let's go ahead and choose the second option, and that's going to start downloading. Once it's downloaded, go ahead and open it. Once you downloaded the file, this is how it's going to look. The email address, that's going to be your Microsoft email. So that's where you're going to be transferring your email to. and the username and password that's going to be from where you're coming from. So that's going to be my Soho account. So let's go ahead and put this information in here. So for my email address, I'm going to delete 3 because it's only going to be one user. Go ahead and click delete. And for my Microsoft account, that's will@LocodeSystems.onmicrosoft.com. And for username, and that's going to be will, here I'll paste it here, is going to be will@novaassistant.com. And my password is going to be, here I'm going to paste it within here, is going to be Automation Desk 2025. So please keep in mind that the email address is going to be your Microsoft email inbox email address. So that's if you have 5 users that you're migrating, if you already created their mailbox in Office 365, you're going to be putting in their email in there. Right now, I don't have my actual domain because I'm already using it with another provider. So that's why I have will@LocodeSystems.onmicrosoft.com. But if I was to add my actual domain, LocodeSystems.com, to Microsoft, it would just be will@LocodeSystems.com. So just whatever setup you have, that's how you're going to be using your email address. Now, once we have this, we're going to be saving this document. So we can go ahead and click Save As. Now that we have created the CSV file, we're going to be importing it back into the Exchange Online. So go ahead and click Import CSV. Now go ahead and click Next. And you're going to have a few configuration settings that you can choose from. So you can select the folder to be skipped or migrated. But we want to migrate everything, so we're just going to leave that unchecked. And you can also select items by time range to be migrated. So this is what I'm talking about, that you can choose to migrate maybe your first 1 to 2 years of mail. I'm just going to leave this unchecked for me. Go ahead and click Next. And now we can schedule this migration batch. I'm going to keep my email inbox here. So this is going to be me. But let me make sure that's the correct one. So I'm going to be adding mine, Will. Now the second option is going to be the start the migration batch by, and we want to automatically start the batch once I click save. But you have a few options. You can start it at a later date. You can also start the migration automatically. You can just set a date and time on when you want to migrate this. And sometimes you will probably coordinate with your people at your company, different teams. Hey, this time we're doing this migration, send some comms out to them. And that's when you will use this option. Now, you can also tell it when you want to end the migration batch by, but I'm just going to leave that blank. Also select the time zone. So make sure you select the right time zone. I'm in Central Time Zone, so I'm going to be selecting the Central Standard Time and click Save. Now it's going to start the migration. Because I didn't click anything to start at a later date or anything, it started automatically. So you can see the batch migration was successful. Go ahead and click Done. And now you're going to see how many people it's moving here. So you can see that it's syncing 2 mailboxes, and that's going to be under the IT department. And you can see all the details here. So you're using an IMAP type. You're migrating 2 mailboxes. Nothing has failed right now, and it's being created by me. So now we're just going to wait for this to finish, and then we're going to see the email over in my inbox. And it actually failed on me. So let's see why it failed. So if you click details, I actually accidentally used the actual templates when I downloaded that had those 2 accounts as an example. So I'm going to start the batch again. So I'm going to add another migration. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start another migration. So I'm going to add another migration type and go through the same settings. All right, so now I have actually uploaded the correct CSV file. So let's see if it runs this time. Go ahead and click Next. I'm going to skip this options. I'm going to leave mine. I'm going to leave everything as is. Go ahead and choose the time zone. It's going to be Central. Let's see what happens with the migration because the last one failed. So you see now we have a total of 1 mailbox syncing. So hopefully this time it works. So this might take a bit. So once it's done, I'll come back and I'll resume the video. Okay, so I actually failed again. If your migration ever fails, and this is good for you to see what happens when the migration fails. So if I go to my migration batches, you can see that it's synced with errors. You can click on it and you can view the details. once you click on the actual account, it tells you what error it is. So this one, it says that the IMAP access is enabled. So I went ahead and went to my Soho account, and this was actually unchecked. So I'm pretty sure that this account didn't have access to the IMAP access, and that's why it failed. So what I did this time, I went ahead and enabled it, and now we're going to rerun the Exchange migration again and see if it works. So this is the kind of troubleshooting that you're going to have to do if you choose to do this migrations yourself. Sometimes not everything works perfectly. You may miss an option, but as long as you figure it out, then you'll be fine. So we're going to resume this migration again and see if it works. So let's click confirm, and this migration, it's starting again, and we'll see if it's successful. Okay, and that was the actual error. So it's been successful. So as you see here, the static has been synced, data consistency has been perfect, percentage sync is 100, and total mailboxes migrated were 1. So that's it. That's how you migrate your current email provider to Microsoft 365. And as you saw, nothing is ever perfect. Sometimes you walk into different errors, different issues, and that's IT, that's everything in tech. You look at it, you see what's wrong, you troubleshoot it, you try again. For this specific case, I had to enable the IMAP on my Soho account, and after I enabled that, it worked. So this is how you're going to see it. So that's it of the process. Pretty simple process. There's just a few limitations and a few kind of things to take in consideration. How big your email inboxes are for your people. Always keep in mind that you can't migrate more than 20 mailboxes at a time, because then it's gonna throttle them and some things may fail. But pretty easy process. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to put them in the comments. Send an email me directly if you need help. If you need a 30-minute consultation, we'll be happy to advise, to help you out, do the migration for you. My email is will@LocodeSystems.com. And finally, I hope you liked the video. I hope I was able to show you how to do this migration, and now that you're able to do it yourself just by looking at the video. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Once again, thank you for watching. My name is Will, and I'll see you on the next one.